Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Retro-Calvacade. Rural Juror? Whatever.
Rural Juror 4.
Right? Part 4. The final chapter.
juroring.
Just kidding. This time, it's personal. I'm Allison Troy, and today I am joined by my co-host for Retro-Calvacade, Andrew from Gatey's Toy, and Dark from the Yesterday's podcast. Oh,
Hey, buddy.
Do you see me?
I do see you. So do people on YouTube.
yeah.
Wait, why am I in the video?
Why are you in because we're shooting a video.
How am I in?
How are you in it? Because
I was going to say goodnight.
okay.
Goodnight.
All right. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Stop, let's give my dad a hug.
Hey, whoa. Be nice. Okay, okay. Give me a hug and a kiss. Be nice to mom. Say bye to Allison and Andrew.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Wonder where he gets that from.
Oh, it's clearly his mom.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly his mother.
Teachers.
Anyway, on that note, Met with Card, good evening to you. Good to see you as well.
I love we're like, child, you need to go away. We're talking about toys now.
Toys.
See this little head creep up. I'm like,
But at least that's a temper tantrum from an actual child and not like a grown-up adult. So that helps.
wait, was that Shauna just now?
Oh, she popped. Did maybe?
Yeah, her in her short shorts.
She's like, oh my god. And Derek is bringing the heat. Hello, to Erwin. Welcome. Thank you for attending. All right. So we're here. It's Thursday, January 30th, 2025. We did not do an episode in December for Christmas. We wanted to do a very special episode for Christmas, but shit happens. Life was busy. It didn't happen.
Job.
It was going to be a drug episode where I did
of my buddies
age for the first time.
All right. So we do have slides. We're going to do the typical thing, but we thought, because if you're on ToyTube, you're supposed to do hauls or like purchases or whatever. So we're going to do hauls this week, everyone. And hopefully it works. If it doesn't, oh well, we're still going to do them. And I'm going to go last because I have a lot of stuff to show off. So anyhow. So Derek or Andrew, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Mine's short because I've already repacked some stuff.
All right, so I'm going to put you solo layout so everyone can see your wonderful things.
Ooh. I did manage to snag the Superpowers Riddler at my local GameStop. Found him. So don't know how much longer I'm collecting that line, but I'm sure we'll talk about that. I stumbled across her in my Walmart in all her Hootie McBoob glory. I'm just getting a hell of a glare on it. But yes, NECA Elvira randomly showed up at my local Walmart for like about $5 to $10 cheaper than Big Bad Toy Store. And for the longest time, she was out of stock on there. So instant buy. Got me a Fisto for all my fisting needs.
Fist him so good.
And my favorite that I got comes by way of my pal Nostalgia Nate, one of the producers of Yesterday's. He found my cover girl, Peoria's Own.
Finally.
And found it just in time for the postal strike in Canada to be over, and for it to gets me in a timely fashion. So I think the only other thing I would want to show off is the lovely Yesterday's tumbler Shauna had made for me. That's
amazing.
That's the cream of my crop.
It's pretty good.
I think I did okay.
Oh wait, I almost kicked you instead of making you exiting solo. Sorry. We'll get it figured out. Andrew, you're next.
Me, I have nothing in package. As soon as it comes in the house, I'm like out trash. So I got Dr. Killamov from
Yeah.
Toxic Crusaders. This is the Trick or Treat kind of like reissue. There's some subtle changes, but he's very like black light sensitive. He glows in the dark with weapons. You can pop his head off, but I haven't yet because I'm terrified. But very cool. There's more to come apparently. I've been harassing that team every other day, so I will get my Yvonne this year. So help me God. And I got Guile finally. Who's serious. So finally caught up on Street Fighter, and also realized like this is not my wheelhouse. Everyone's expecting like a lot of shiny plastic boobs, but muscle dudes and toxic fellows. And the last thing, I think I talked to you guys yesterday. It's Ultra Magnus. Ken Toy Connections was saying like this. I don't know. It's like a commemorative edition. Yada yada. I mean, I hate Ultra Magnus as a person, and now a toy. Like this thing is just fiddly, and he's a garbage person. But I'm gonna get Vintage RC soon, so I figured get the team. So
Didn't he
That's
get
it.
canceled during Me Too?
yeah. He said some things about DEI that it just never recovered from.
That happens. All right. Well, we're going to do my obnoxious, and it's pretty obnoxious because I got a couple shipments from Big Bad Toy Store, plus a bunch of eBay lots have shown up. I'm not going to go through all of it because we don't have 17 hours, but we're going to hit the highlights. And a few of them we're doing because on previous episodes of the Calvacade, I was like, oh, we like these. I want these. So, first up, my Horde Trooper Prime.
Yes.
Retro Play. And of course, you've got that lovely Origins art on the background. Speaking of Origins, my glow-in-the-dark Necroconda. You don't
My
want
Necroconda don't.
Got buns, hun. So he's super cool. Haven't opened him yet. And of course, my Masterverse Evelyn.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
Pretty cool.
God, she looks great. Mine's in my pile of loot. I can't wait to get it.
Yeah. I need to open her, but yeah, we'll get there. And then, of course, sort of this part of the pile of loot, also my cartoon collection, She-Ra. And when I unbox her, I'm actually going to make it a video because I have, going back to vintage Princess of Power, I have every She-Ra in this scale. So, yeah. I don't have the 2000X one, but those are a little bit taller. So I'm going to do all of the She-Ras in this scale. Just a comparison video. All right, sort of on topic. He would have been in the package, but it was one of those like $5 from Amazon where the package is damaged. Figure is fine. So I went ahead and got a booster gold because I want one, of course.
He's a handsome boy.
This next one was not a typical haul. It was a contest. I won a contest on Hedgehog Actions YouTube channel. So there are the stickers, and I got some really cool custom head and a custom weapon. So
Nice.
I'm going to show those off because those are exciting. I don't know what yet. So now let's get to the obnoxious. I got vintage strawberry shortcake, berry cycle.
Yeah.
Mint and box. Well, mint, i.e., like it's all in there. It's not sealed box. Same lot. I got the strawberry shortcake berry case. Box. The strawberry case, of course, is in there. And sort of the best part of that lot. Strawberry shortcake garden house. It is complete. So it has all the little parts in it. And once I
have this for what's it called? The Boss Fight Studio on the shelf for them kind of thing, and it's fantastic. Like it's like just a little gazebo, but it's really nice.
Well, you also mentioned that you might be missing some pieces. So when I get all of my vintage strawberry shortcake stuff out of the closet, apropos as well to give it to you, Andrew. I have extra pieces for one of these. They came in a lot, so I'll get you anything you're missing. Also an eBay thing. Strawberry Shortcake stain, Wonder Woman Superpowers stain set. It's kind of like paint by numbers. So it's pretty cool. The box has seen better days, but it's mint. So the actual cardboard in it and all the paints are in there, but they're dried, of course, because it's like, what, 40 years old now? This was a gift from Oz of Ostradamus Toys. It is a Cabal Creations unofficial Cosmic Legions coloring book.
Oh, sweet.
Obviously, I'm going to do a flip through video and some coloring with it. And Oz is going to join me on a Sunday to color some stuff from it. And sort of my favorite haul of the week, because everyone in ToyTube is excited about this.
Yeah.
My style guide that arrived. I'm going to do a flip through video of this as well if you're super interested. But what really makes me excited is these black and white pages in it with the clip art. I'm going to be scanning these and making a couple coloring pages. So because this is my channel and I do what the heck I want, my flip through will end with me coloring a page from it. And next time Andrew comes on, we'll be doing coloring some stuff from it. And, you know, same deal for you as well. Derek, I couldn't remember your name for a second. I kept wanting to call you Kyle for some reason. So
Kyle.
I know, right? I was like, that's
my. Oh no, that's one of my younger brothers. That's no.
So anyway, so quickly. Let's catch up on chat. Exactly, I agree, bud. The Dolly Parton doll from the late 70s is horrific. Joan Rivers cover girl. I have definitely heard that. Thanks, Dave Dimension, and welcome. Thank you for yes, exactly. Thanos is here. Agreed, bud. I am out of Masterverse except for cherry picking my most favorite characters, and occasionally I'll pick up some of the figures at discount if I want to use them for Origins customs.
Same.
Everyone's saying hello. They are very nice. Thank you so much. This is a relevant question. The actual playsets don't. Never did. It's only the dolls. I did get in the lot. I didn't have it because they need to get cleaned. But there was a bag of dolls, doll clothes. None of them actually smell like anything except old lady. Because it was an old lady I bought the lot from because she's old. And since I'm old, she's older than me. So exactly. But it was a fair accident. So anyway.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Kyle.
Your soda there says you feel just fine about it, right?
Nah.
Your gummy bear juice?
Daddy get through the day juice.
Right. I'm finishing my coffee from today.
By the way, I don't know if you can hear it. They are fighting upstairs.
Oh, no.
No, but I do love drama. Is it bedtime? Is that it?
It's right about bedtime, but he has to ask me something right now, but she won't let him come and ask me, and he's pissed.
Right.
He's already been on camera. I mean,
I'm gonna message her real quick. Let's keep going. I'm just gonna send her a message real quick.
All right. So anyway, we have slides because of course we've got slides. My entire life is predicated on the slides. And this is just our lovely thumbnail, as you would have seen earlier when you clicked on this video. And first up, I know we keep talking about gem, but it's because some of us, me, is super excited about this gem.
Yep.
And there's been the reveal of the box and then a little bit more of what she looks like out of the box. I think this is quite exceptional. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what is it, pal?
Pause for something.
I want to be by myself. I want to be by myself.
Yeah, come here, honey. Come here, quick.
I want to be by myself.
You want to be by yourself. Where do you want to be by yourself at?
I don't know. My mom doesn't know.
Well, why don't you just let mom sit nicely with you?
But
Okay.
I'm always on with you.
Well, honey, I'm doing something, and I'm gonna come back upstairs. So hey, I'll make you a deal. Hey, I'm gonna finish up with my friends, and then I'll come up and we can cuddle up.
But
Okay?
are you almost done?
Oh, we'll be done pretty quick, I'm sure. Why don't you just relax?
Like 1 minute.
Oh, a little more than a minute.
Okay.
But you just relax with mom, and we're gonna go fast.
Okay, but
Okay?
the last time my mom said I went downstairs, I didn't.
Well, let's
And
just
she
try to.
lied.
Well, I don't think she
did
lied.
lie.
Okay, I don't think she lied,
Yes,
but
she did.
let's just try to get along with mom.
Yes,
Okay?
she lied.
I don't think she's lying. Mom's not a liar.
But I want to be on myself upstairs.
Okay. What, mom? Maybe
Then
give him a
she
little
was
bit of time
there.
by himself.
I don't trust them to not come down here.
He won't come down here, will you?
Mm-hmm.
Pinky promise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And no YouTube.
And no
I'm
YouTube.
not.
Okay. Deal?
When my dad gets upstairs, I can.
Deal?
Okay, but when you get upstairs, I want to watch something else on my channel.
We'll see. We'll see about
When
that.
you
Okay.
get upstairs, I want to go on my channel.
Okay.
When
Okay.
you.
When I'm upstairs. Okay. But you lay down nicely.
Can you be done like 2 or 1 minute?
It's gonna be more than a minute.
Two?
Okay. Probably more than 2. Okay.
What about 3?
It'll be a little bit more than that. If you let us work on this, we're gonna be done pretty quick.
How many
Okay.
minutes?
But
I want to be quick.
okay.
What number?
60. That's not a whole lot of minutes. Trust me.
What? It's a 0?
There's a 0 involved. Okay, but you do that, and you pinky promise you're not going to come down here, and I'll be up ASAP. Okay. I love you. God, Nate, comment there. I got 4.
I do appreciate your parenting style because where I was raised, it was like, here's the back of my hand.
Exactly. That's what I grew up with. So,
That was very good.
sweetie, I'll be up soon. Okay. Like a couple episodes of Bluey, I'll be up.
Okay. Anyhow, so yeah, this should be hitting. This is a Walmart exclusive initially. It will go to other stores after a time. So hopefully,
will.
Yeah. So hopefully this
Okay.
won't be scarce. But every other Loyal Subjects exclusive eventually does hit like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earths. It usually hits Amazon, so they're pretty good about nothing being true exclusive, but being like retailer first exclusive.
Okay. 'Cause
Um,
that was my biggest concern with Gem. Like, am I going to have to suffer Walmart to maybe get this?
yeah, I feel like there's going to be a big demand for this.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think it's the Loyal Subjects. My experience with their strawberry shortcake and rainbow bright lines, which I have found quite excellent, have been the first few weeks. Everything's hard to find, and then it's really easy to find it for a solid price without paying eBay flipper prices. So I cannot
he's on
imagine.
eBay now for like, he's on for like $70 on eBay kind of thing, at least Canadian. And I'm like, come
Yeah,
on. Like,
yeah.
they're pretty good
Well,
at that. And again, too, like they've got partners with Walmart. I don't know their factory situation, but like their stuff is not hard to find generally. I mean, you're not going to get it this week probably, but you're going to find it. That said, I mean, I used to be big in the gem crowd when Integrity Toys was doing their like very like premium
Yeah.
belt line, and those bitches are crazy. So like, if you
Mm.
see her, even if you're on the fence, go get it and like watch her eyes.
yeah.
I'm
'Cause
gonna. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've looked once upon a time here and there at just a gem similar to this from that company.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it is spendy, like spendy.
And that was like retail. I mean, now they go for like quadruple the price. So I mean, anyone like who's not doing like either this or a gem action figure line or like, I mean, they're leaving money on the table. And I always kind of bring the business mind frame here, but like the fan base is it's like very like kind of like that Monster High kind of mentality where like they want to spend money and they'll spend hundreds of dollars per figure if they need to. So like,
Oh yeah.
keep going. I just saw this Canadian Killer Picture. Yeah, I like disclosure. I'm in Toronto, which you would think, as the center of the universe, would be a paradise for finding toys. It's not. I just don't like. I go to vintage toy stores. I go on Evil Day. I go to like a lot of, especially now, a lot of Canadian online retailers who are doing kind of like pile of loot things. I want to say Maples and Mangoes. I want to say Zed Collectibles. There's some that are like local, so you get it super quick, and the price is better, and you don't have to deal with the border or duty. So like, I just cut out the middleman. I'm not spending gas money going all over town looking for something and then wasting that cash.
Yeah.
And also for those wondering, the Barbie and the Rocker stage in here this comes from the three of us obviously have a group chat. And Andrew had pointed out this Barbie and the Rocker set from, like, I believe I looked it up and it was 2017.
Yep.
It comes with this doll. This is a flip around set where the back has like a dressing room. And I found this online and various stages of like mint, non-mint, loose, out of box, complete, between $35 to like $70, which is not bad for everything included. And the top, as far as my research shows, is like a cardboard piece. It would be really easy to like make that say Gem and the Holograms up there through various, whether you're printing something out from the internet, there are places you can buy stickers. So it would be really easy. I can't imagine the loyal subjects wouldn't do some sort of a playset because they have, even for the Strawberry Shortcake line, they have done one like the Berry Bake Shop, which is like an oven and some accessories. But they like for this particular demographic, the people who buy 12-inch dolls or 12-inch figures, you need at least a playset, some sort of world building item. Especially for
I requested this come up just like before the stream, just because like I've already secured mine, and that's why I'm willing to share because I've got mine. So,
but it does come with
display yours.
Yeah, and it does come with this Barbie and the guitar and the mic stand. So like, Jem could have a friend. So anyway, we're excited about this. We're all sort of, and my personal excitement is that the gem here is based on the actual vintage box art. So it's not it's the darker pink, not of the cartoon, but that actual dark pink from the actual box art, card art, which for me is so iconic and so amazing. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
And really,
also it's Gem. I mean, if they're gonna make anyone over and over again, it's going to be her. So if you're waiting on the cartoon version or whatever it is, or she'll be coming. Don't worry.
Yeah, somebody did sort of finger quote complain that like because of the hair you can't do a true Jerrica, but let's just be honest. Like if this sells as well as I expect it will, there will be a Jerrica doll.
Yeah.
So
calm down.
Also,
yeah, like
who's really like. I really want that Jerrica doll. Like, who are these people? Like, bring them to me. I want to have a little talk with them.
I want a Jerrica doll, but I don't mind that this doll doesn't enable you to, do the transformation the way the vintage doll did. Like, I'm not playing with these that way, so I don't, it's not like I need her to transform to be happy. So anyway, we're excited. I hope you all are too. And the next slide, the next thing we were all kind of excited about were these Thundercats. Each of the 4 figures does have our slide, so we are going to go through them figure by figure. And I know everybody else has because this news hit last week, but whatever. We're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So, Lionel.
Mm-hmm. These are great. I am so excited for these. This is exactly what I want. I want Thundercats in an origin scale. and you have the option of making them look motued up or make them look like a standard Thundercat. This is Swiss watch. I can't wait.
I was gonna say too. I mean, of the bunch, maybe like Mumra is good, but I mean, like Lionel looks the more Eternian, because that's what I think. I think when they did this, I think they sort of pitched the Turtles kind of concept where you sort of like chew great taste that taste great together. Chitara we'll get to. I don't really see much Eternian on her, but this definitely, you've got like the harness, you've got that big like lion pauldron on his shoulder. He's got like a fancy little tiara on the other hairpiece. Like there's a lot here. But I mean, frankly, anyone who's buying this, maybe you'll buy two. And again, that's a great marketing plan where you get the two things. But I mean, I think most people are going to be displaying like classic lineup.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you can do the classic looks. Bud mentioned it here in chat, and I kind of agree. What I suspect we're seeing with this claw is that it's actually not a clip-on claw like the vintage one was, but it's actually like a hand piece, and that you pop out the hand that claw goes on, and then the claw pops in its place. So I expect, based on the way this has been presented in the slides, the pictures we've seen so far, that's actually a separate handpiece that clips in, almost like Fisto or Jitsu, where it like that you pop out the one hand and pop that in, and then it has some movement. Could be completely wrong, but just based on the way it's constructed, that's what it looks like to me. I'm hoping not. But I do know that by the time these start hitting, this terrible Super 7 5.5 figures that started hitting a few weeks ago will be on sale, and those do have a clip-on piece. So anyway.
Sure. Likewise, I mean, if you're worried if Lino, this isn't the perfect version, there's probably another one coming. Like of all characters, he's probably the one you're going to see, at least once more. So they might be saving that back. Also, I mean, his hair, we'll talk about Chitara too, but I mean, like, that's incredible hair. Like, they really, like, blew the budget on, like, the ultimate blowout.
I think, and we'll talk about this more with Chitara, but I definitely like the way that the hairpiece here is removable. And I'm hoping that this sort of starts a trend in Origins where sort of G.I. Joe Classified will do this, where there's replaceable hair. Because I think there are a lot of, i.e. they could get a lot of money out of me for another Tila. If they had, so that her hair removes and you can do blonde Tila, you can do long red hair, like battleground Tila, whatever we're calling her this week. They could do the exact vintage hair that Tila had on the vintage figure. Because I still feel really sort of bummed out that Origins hasn't given us a vintage head for Tila, because the new Origins Tila face is cute enough, but I really like that almost Barbie-esque vintage Tila look. And the same with I miss the Sophia Loren Evelyn head sculpt. I wish, like we had gotten those in Origins as like a refresh or whatever. So
and that's what kind of killed me about Origins early on, is that like that very, very first pack from probably San Diego was basically like Power Lords coming. So like when I saw that line, I'm all like, I want to do that. Like I want to do like the concept art looks kind of thing. And then like it sort of became very clear they're like, no, we're doing vintage. And that's fine. That's great. But I mean, at the same time, I still did want like the kind of like mustacheless with a cool like fuzzy cape man at arms. I wanted Tila with like blonde hair and the thorny red crown. Like I wanted like Alcala Skeletor. Like I wanted like old like mini comic-y kind of things. And I've not really seen that.
When I hate to almost jinx it this way, but I feel like looking at these, and it'll become more evident when we look at the other ones. I feel like Mattel almost feels like they listened to some of our complaints about those early waves of Origins and the things they didn't get right, and got it right with this, because that head sculpt that is on this one is it's a really good hair. That's very vintagey Lion-O. And it switches out for like sort of the updated Motuified instead of like with the turtles where it's like the head sculpts are the head sculpts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, so let's see. Okay, so that's Lion-O. And again, I think Lee also mentioned it, the fact that they're doing the legs and the feet for the first time actually in the line where you can switch that out.
Yeah,
is
being able
really
to switch out the shin, that's different.
Yep.
Yep.
So, all
It's
right.
the future.
The future is now. And then of course we have the Battle Cat and the Chitara. I really like the Battle Cat design. It's and I didn't have a chance to get those onto the side, but in the Thundercats and Motu comic book crossover, this is really close to Battle Cat in there. Mixed with a different design that Mattel had done one of the times they were going to reboot Masters of the Universe after 2000X. And so I really like this design. I think it's really cool. For me, this is, as far as like cool new things that we didn't expect. I expected this, but I feel like this is a really like beyond sort of recreating or the original looks of the Thundercats. I feel like this is hopefully other Motu characters we see in this crossover line have sort of this level of freshness. I don't know.
Yeah. It makes me wonder what they're gonna do, like if they do a Panther in a similar style, like what that would look like, just to go up against this figure. I think that would look pretty cool down the road.
I think I've said this on like other live streams, but I mean, like, not to start rumors, but I mean, like, I'm not into furries, but like, Battle Cat looks like a very sexy, horny furry. Like, just look at that face, and he's sort of like giving you the eye across the room, and I'm like, what is with like, why do I feel this way?
He's ready to make some bad decisions after some appetizer samplers at the hotel bar, man.
Yeah, pretty much down with the Howard Johnson. Like, he's like, hey,
about to get real nasty in this hojo.
Was it bad shrimp or just an indiscretion? You'll never know. And Chitara, so Chitara, I'm happy that we can do the classic Chitara look. I'm also, again, and this is where I really want to talk about this exchangeable hair. Because with that Chitara face sculpt, literally, and the exchangeable hair model, they could give us every vintage Wave 1 Princess of Power figure with that one head. Yeah. You throw some hair on it, you've got Angela. Throw some hair on it, you've got Glimmer. You could do Glimmer with toy hair and filmation hair. Same with Angela.
Even her body is pretty standard. I mean, like, they've really... There's nothing to it. I mean, there's no sculpting. I mean, here and there, but I mean, that you could, as long as you have like a buck, and I guess we'll get that back to that superpower. As long as you have the bones there, I mean, you've got everything's there to make a full Princess of Power line.
Well, and these Chitara boots, put some red paint on those, and you've got Adora, He-Man's twin sister and defender of the secrets of the Crystal Castle. So, you know.
Yeah, that's a buck that if they want to, they could just beat the shit out of, really. And if you need to tweak it, you kind of do like like they did with Demo Man. You don't have to do a whole new retooling. You just need some sort of like overlay clothing that you snap together like his outfit and move on to the next character. So that's I see a lot of possibility with her.
I mean, frankly, like, not to be weird, but I mean, like, it's just with She-Ra, it's the boob armor. They all have like a certain crest on their chest that's like subtly different, and that's it. Like, otherwise, it's the same figure. Like, and sometimes they do reuse them. So I mean, as long as you have like plain arms, plain legs, and then sort of like just like at least the back of a torso, you could sort of like churn this out. So I mean, there's a lot of if they want to, there's a lot of options here.
Oh yeah.
I do also appreciate too that she comes with her shoulder nubbin that you could take her like, you know, de-embiggening Staff. You put that on
Yeah,
there.
but-
Like it's that little attention to detail.
Little
Like,
guy.
Flip on.
Yeah.
You're a little stick. It's smart. Like it's like the people designing this know the subject matter, which you can't always say about people, but this is like you thought about everything.
Oh, she's rad.
And to Payne's comment right here, what's interesting is Wily Cat and Wily Kit are smaller. A couple of the cartoon collection cardbacks have had some of the kid characters from the Filmation cartoon, and everyone's, oh well, they don't have a buck that size. They're definitely not going to make those characters. Wily Cat, Wily Kit would use that. I was looking at the two cards that have kids on the back of them from the Motu cartoon, and both of those they could easily use to make Wily Cat and Wily Kit. So everyone, and I was one of the people who were like, they would never make those, but now that sort of the full Thundercats-ness of it all hits, like they might actually, that might be part of why those kids are sort of teased, is because maybe they will do those characters, and that's a way to get that tooling into the line. So fingers crossed.
Sure.
Also, a Panther mashup would be really cool, or even a Panther as a Thundercat. Let's see. That was the one. Yeah, so that and I expect that we'll get a couple Mumras. I think Mumra is so some people have not liked this, and that's totally valid, but I do want to say the look of it is very much Skeletor takes the ancient spirit of evil power and the Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossover cartoon. And this is a pretty good adaptation of that look.
Yeah.
So I would expect that we're starting here, but I expect at some point we'll get, fingers crossed, we'll get like a more standard looking Mumra. So also because Mumra is not actually blue, he's more of a like green color from the vintage toy. So I would expect we'll get a different Mumra at some point.
I just really like his. It's a stupid thing, but like the wraps, like I like that they're sort of like semi-translucent because it kind of gives it that sort of like cheesecloth kind of feel to it. Like it's a stupid detail, but that was the first thing I like zeroed in on.
And to this question for Lee, this torso does look bigger than the standard Motu, and it's not the chunky buck that they have over for the WWE toys. So this does look like, and it looks like quickly. It does look like Battle Cat has a slightly bigger torso, and Lion-O looks like he has a slightly bigger torso. So I think there is a different torso buck in play for all four of those characters, because even the Chitara looks like it's a different torso than the standard cartoon collection one. Yeah. So yes, his skin tone is much more of a sea foam.
Maybe it was a hint of puce.
I would say if I were using my color pencils to do it, it would be light aqua, cobalt, turquoise, and those two. And I would just do a lot of blending with a little bit of powder blue in there to buff it out.
Oh, so. You gotta.
Anyway, it's vaguely scary. I can do that all by myself, just in my head now.
Yeah.
One of the cool things, though, to me about the Skeletor is I didn't include these pictures in the slides, but the Skeletor, the head is a different piece than the rest. Like the hood and the ram horns, that's one piece, and the head is separate. And the head sculpt to me looks very New Adventures Skeletor. So fingers crossed that they would use not New Adventures the toys, New Adventures the cartoon.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed that they remember in the origin scale that New Adventures had some cool designs. And if they were to adapt some of those designs into Origins with like the Origins buck, I think some of those designs would pop a lot more. Those are some of my favorite figures and classics.
They did have some
They were
cool
really nice, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, it always shocks me. Like, I've only done the 2 videos on New Adventures, but they're like 2 of my top performers. Like, there's a hungry audience there. Like, it always flabbergasts me because when I walk in, I'm like, ugh, I gotta talk about this now. But people like it. Mikey likes it.
Mikey likes it.
I'm hoping and meant with. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Meant with card, I'm hoping we get some sort of play sets or some sort of vehicles, something. Like,
Yeah,
I think there's some cool stuff that they could do.
that could be
I
right.
think there's like some fun options. Like, I mean, the obvious. I want Tigra Man-at-Arms, chin armor thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm more excited for like the mutants. Like, what is it like? Slithe and Trapjaw? Is it
Slithe would be
like,
really cool.
Yeah.
like Jackalman and Beastman? Like, there's the mutants. I think I'm probably most excited about in this line.
Lee, I hope they do a bunch of new adventures and just slowly trickle out the last of the vintage. And like, I hope they save. I hope Too Bad happens in 3 to 4 years, just so all those people can lose more, so that I can see
Out
the
of spite.
vein. Because a few of those people have, I'm not going to name the names, but a few of them have shows where they jump on the internet and live stream. And every time they get mad about Too Bad, like right here in the center of their forehead, the little vein starts pulsing. And I have to say, that's my kink. Anyway. So, yeah. It's probably too much TMI, but yeah.
We're furries and little forehead veins tonight.
Right, exactly. I want Twistoid to come first. Or makes Too Bad to build a figure that you have to buy Twistoid and the 2 giants to get to. I just got canceled. Anyway.
Tears flow like water.
The Thundercats Motu crossover that we were all excited about. And it sounds like the chat is too. I have to say, what I've liked about this crossover is there's been a lot less whiny man baby types than there was with the turtles.
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't like the turtles, you don't like the turtle. That's fine. I don't care. You don't have to like everything. I don't need people to be all, sad on the internet for no reason.
Yeah, I don't get the like, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Like,
it's for the clicks. It's for the clicks.
Yeah, if I don't like anything, if I don't like something, I'm usually relieved because it means I don't have to buy it. So
yeah, exactly. Like, okay.
Speaking of things we don't
Thank
have to
God.
buy.
I was just gonna say, speaking of something I don't need to buy.
Next up, superpowers. If you've watched any of the obviously because 2 of us had as part of our hauls this week, our haul, superpowers toys, and obviously I bought this.
Friggin' guidebook.
Obviously, superpowers is something we like, and we've, I think, managed to complain about superpowers on all 4 episodes of Retro-Calvacade, aka the Rural Drama.
We did it.
So far. So
We solved superpowers.
We have our whiny baby people on the internet moments too.
Whiny baby pissy pants.
Yeah, I will agree with this. The variety is the one thing have been.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool to
about.
see some of the other mutants in the line.
I want Irma. Irma.
Give Irma her due.
Like the April O'Neil was amazing, but where's Irma? I need Irma.
Get me a Vern from the news station.
I need Irma.
I want Tempestra, and Evelyn had a child. That's what I want.
Yeah. Irma in an Evelyn 2000X costume, and we're in. So anyway, let's whine a little bit about superpowers. We are going to start with the most recent wave. And because for me, this wave is like almost perfect.
Almost.
Getting the Atom, who is a character we all obviously wanted in the 1980s.
Yeah. And
didn't get in the classic. The Robin is Jason Todd. So
it's a good Jason Todd.
It's an excellent Jason Todd as Robin. Golden Age Flash, perfect. Exactly what I want. Instead of getting another like red jumpsuit Flash, be it Barry, be it Wally,
Yeah.
it's a different Flash. Lobo's a great Lobo is very much a butterface for me. Like love him till you get to that cartoon face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I talked with you guys about this. What irritates me about the Lobo is that he falls in the same category as the Justice Lord Superman, the Thomas Wayne Batman, and I'll even throw the Batman that laughs in there. Why are these in here?
Yeah.
There's no other Justice Lords. There's no other Flashpoint characters. There's no other evil Batman of the Dark Multiverse. So what are we doing? Like, why not just make it a regular Lobo? Why we go with the cartoon head?
Yeah, and I think that's exactly like I get Lobo. I would have much preferred if he was Lobo from the original Keith Geffen penciled issue of Omega Men where he first appeared.
Yeah,
because it would be accurate to what superpowers is supposed to be, but that would be expecting Tawd really quick so that you can Tawd correctly.
I'm gonna make these fucking superpowers. I go make a fucking omelet.
And really quick, we will address this. No, I'll address it right now.
Yeah.
What kids are buying superpowers?
No one.
No
Like,
one.
No one's even buying his multiverse. And I mean, here's what superpowers is great on paper, and it's every single every wave is like it's almost there, but then there's some fall in your face nonsense like this where you're like, what? But I mean, this is Todd's whole DC reign, where like you look back to like the first wave of the multiverse, where it was like gangly Batman and Superman. It was this weird animated Green Lantern and Harley Quinn. It was like the super tall Batgirl. Like all these really incredibly weird choices by a man-child who's like, I think this is cool, and then so the peoples are made to make it. And so there's no direction and there's no strategy. It's just literally like, this is cool, and then so they have to go and manufacture whatever comes up in his head. And basically he just sort of said,
You're not wrong.
But I mean, then we see superpowers, and again, like you have the style guide, you have the sequel series. This should be very easy to do. And again, like I know you think this is for kids. Spin Master's for kids. We buy these.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's for me. Like, although, like, obviously, we all know what, and we're gonna get to that after we finish whining like adults do about toys on the internet. To this, if the Lobo head was a comic book rather than cartoon, this for me would be a great, like, this wave would be 100% all for. And it doesn't happen often. You know, like normally Robin would be like, why do I need another Robin? I don't know why I just said that like my grandma would have said it. But even like it's a good Jason Todd. Like this would be perfect for us in my shelf. But then I look at that Lobo and I'm just like, but why Todd? Why?
Yeah. I mean, Robin's smart too, because again, like some people don't. I mean, one of my good friends buys strictly this line. I think he has a few vintage coming, but he's buying this. So for him to actually like, women aside, like build out a DC universe, you do need like a good Superman, a good Batman, a good Robin. So like, and he's done that with like a dozen Flashes, Green Lanterns. Like this is smart to sort of like pepper this in for the new collectors who don't want to fork out money for like 40, 45-year-old toys. So like, having a classic bare-legged, little bootied Robin, like this is correct. But Lobo, why? Why Lobo? Why? And I remember, like, I think I've talked about this before. Like, I wrote a letter to Kenner when the line ended and didn't know it ended. I remember, like, I typed it. Like, I was a professional, like, 10-year-old or whatever the hell it was. But I was like, dear Kenner, here's a list of things you need to do. And it was a very exhaustive list, but Lobo was pretty high up there.
Well, and I'm just as I flip back and forth between the cards, and it's like Lobo doesn't even match the card art, as I guess.
No.
What makes me even like if that were an animated, I probably would have gotten. I wouldn't have gotten over this, but I wouldn't be like. There would be a little bit less of the Tawd in the Tawd when I said it.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's disappointing in a way that like. I don't know. Like like there are a lot of people who, like are very Black Series oriented for Star Wars and get really unhappy about really specific things. And I get it. Because when you really love a line, when you're really passionate, it's like what I keep running into with superpowers is superpowers as a kid, we were all in. Like my brother and I like tag teamed that shit and like knocked the whole line out. We had everything through wave 2. After that, I was kind of like, I don't need Golden Pharaoh. The only like wave 3 figure, my brother got Mr. Miracle, Cyborg, Orion, and Samurai. And the rest of it was like, who the hell is Golden Pharaoh? We never found Shazam locally, or we would have had Shazam. But also that was, like I was very deep in Princes of Power at that point. And that was the year we got the USS flag, so whatever.
Brag.
It's not a brag. It's just
Humble brag.
facts.
Oh, the flag. Right?
Anyway, and as I always said as a kid who had the USS flag, Tawd, I had a flag. Why can't you make this line better? My grandmother would be so annoyed. She gets so mad when we would do that. Anyway, it's like I want to be all in on this line, and that's what we keep running into. However, I guess we could use that to morph into the rumors that Tawd might be losing the license for this line, and it might be going to. The hint I have heard is Spin Masters, which kind of is in line with some of their other releases. Yeah, Tawd, you're not the right Tawd. You're like the good. You're the good Tawd. This is the good Tawd. This is the Tawd we like. Tawd, if you were in charge of superpowers, you would have already given us some of.
You would have fixed it.
You'd have fixed it. You got right in there and been like, "What is this?" So yeah. So that's the rumor that Spin Masters might be taking over the superpowers line as part of whatever happens with the license in the coming weeks, months, years. Yep. So if Spin Masters is watching this, and why wouldn't they be? What else are they doing on Thursday?
What are you doing on a Thursday night?
And I have put together, and the slides to come are our wish list, and there are no dudes on it because I feel like Superpowers has had enough dudes that we're just going to stick to the ladies. But every lady on these slides have come from our 3-person like Calvacade chat.
Yeah.
So these are the characters we hope whoever takes over from Tawd produces, since Tawd doesn't know what boobs are in 5-inch scale.
Boobs.
His poor wife.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
right.
and that wasn't even shade. That was just a diss. So anyway, let's start with 1980s version Catwoman, Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
And this is her golden age and her silver age / bronze age, if we overlook the pirate costume face, and the green jumpsuit based on the black jumpsuit from the TV show. So.
Yeah, I remember growing up and I hated this costume because if you're a cat burglar, a dress and heels and a cape seems counterproductive to sneaking around and breaking into a house. But like, I've really come to, and especially when it's like, it's a high slit. Like when that thing goes up like way past the heels, you're like, this is uncomfortably hot. So like, this is one of my favorite costumes now.
I will say really quickly, I have the Figures Toy Company. I think that's your name, Figures Toy Company. The Mego retro line that they've done. I've got the pirate cow. She's She's in a box in the closet because, until we get my studio / collection room finished with the contractor, I'm not really going to unpack the bulk of it. But that was one of my favorite things that I got from Figures Toy Company was that. I mean, I want that one, but I want in 5-inch scale superpowers, I want this Catwoman first. And then I want all the fun variants.
Yeah.
Like I basically they need to do every Catwoman costume ever. But I want them to do this one because this one I don't like.
All three Catwomen from Batman 66. Screw it.
I need Eartha Kitt in 5-inch scale.
And that's the nice thing about Catwoman is that like there is sort of like Poison Ivy or Black Canary or even Batgirl. Like there's a lot of like repaint again too. Like get your money out of the mold, but I mean you can repaint the hell out of this. Like I mean with the dress. A little different, but I mean, most of other costumes, it's paint. Like it's just body paint and ears. So
let's break this down really quick because I'm a tooling girly. That was one of my first videos was breaking down the tooling from Lady Slither. So we're gonna look at these two Catwomen and okay, so look, Catwoman. From the 40s, the Golden Age, illustrated here by Dave Stevens from Classic 1985, Who's Who, issue 4. No, issue 5. No, it was 4. There were 2 B's and then 2 C's, but she was in the first C issue. So anyhow, so this her arms and her body, her torso and her like waist piece, you can reuse for Silver Age. Head sculpt, reuse. Like you could do both of these Catwomen with that. Waist, legs above the knee, same figure. Below the knee for the Silver Age, there's your Donna Troy Wonder Girl figure. On the other side, there is our Black Canary 80s aerobicized jumpsuit. So right here,
AKA Olivia Newton-John, Black Canary.
Yeah. So right here, you do one figure with a variant with different below the knee parts, and that gives you tooling for 3 different figures, basically. Depending on how they create the top of the torso, this is a very generic looking belt, very generic looking torso, very generic arms. There's a lot of reuse here. Depending on how the hair fits, you could probably reuse this for a bunch of different Catwomen.
Also, like, I mean, random tangents, like, I'm a huge fan of 80s heels. Like, again, not practical, but, like, I've really kind of come around on this. I'm like, everybody in high heel boots. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Like, Batman, high heel boots.
And really quick, Hedgehog popped. Oh, wait, that's me saying hi. Hedgehog popped in, and just so you know, sir, I showed off the prize I won earlier. My brain's not working. I need more diet soda. Which is what sadly I didn't include Power Girl because she had that whole. But we'll get to Power Girl on another episode. So anyway, Catwoman. This is a lot of tooling for a lot of figures with one character.
Yeah.
Cheetahs, obviously. 2 different cheetahs, 2 different head sculpts, but basically the Catwoman, like the tail, there's so much that you could do. This is 2 characters with really generic tooling. So, Wonder Woman needs actually in 5-inch scale some villains to fight. So these would be cool.
Yeah.
And again, Who's Who, this is the same issue Catwoman. This was my first issue of Who's Who as a kid. So it was like perfect. Catwoman, Cheetah. Speaking of Black Canary, we've got her mother, and then my mother, my daughter. Black Canary was kind of Chinatown in this era of the DC universe. And then we've got, of course, Zatanna. The fact that Tawd has not given us any version of Black Canary yet is a violation of my Geneva Convention rights. So just so you know, Tawd, war criminal. And I
Everybody
think
loves
again,
fishnets, Todd.
yep. And Zatanna,
Yeah.
this is a very 80s costume. But if you were to do Black Canary with fishnets, you could reuse it to do a Zatanna variant with the fishnets.
I
Like
love
the,
this look. Like, again, I used to hate it because it was like a lobster on her head, and it was just very not like the traditional magician Vegas showgirl kind of look. But like, it's very 80s. It's
Yeah.
very the style guide. I hate to like pound on that thing like it's a Bible, but it is.
yeah, no, this is a great look. It would be a really cool figure. And I don't think we've ever gotten a figure of Zatanna in this costume. And for a lot of people, this is the costume she's wearing in the style guide over here.
There
So-
is one of her in that costume. I have it. One
Yeah.
that I know of.
DC,
I think there's
DC
like 2 or
Direct.
3.
Yeah, DC Direct Identity Crisis figures based on Michael Turner art. And she
Oh.
looks great.
yeah,
She looks great.
Okay, so there you go.
She looks
Um,
very demure.
Very mindful. That
this
was
is
the
very like a superhero kind of costume. Like it's very, loud and
Yeah.
colorful and makes a good toy.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like the gems in her hair. Oh, sorry. This is just a really cool look. And all 3 of these would be great figures. And again, the Zatanna, like the sleeves are very flowy, but from the, like the torso, this is a very generic torso. That's a cape, some generic legs. Like it would be really easy to reuse parts for this. Same with the Black Canaries, both of them. So, I mean, the puffy sleeves for Black Canary and her 80s outfit get us to the Supergirl.
Yeah.
True.
The Silver Age blouse, hot pants. Also, some of those Catwoman arms would get us to the movie Supergirl, who has been rumored to be part of, I believe, one of the MacFarland waves. She's been rumored, but I don't know if that's superpower scale or 7-inch scale. So
It's not
feel like
super.
that's part of the. No, I think that's the Spin Master. They're doing sort of like a retro line now.
Okay.
And they're doing like a lot of like movies, including Supergirl, which I mean, frankly, like Spin Master is not fantastic with the paint or the sculpts, but I mean, if she's 5-inch, I might give it a go.
Really quick, Brick. It is. That is not necessarily. That's not great. Terry Austin is a great artist, but that Black Canary art is not his best. It was just I had my Who's Who scans handy, and that was the easiest way to get both of those costumes up there. So, I prefer superheroes in 5-inch scale. So, whatever. Vixen, it's a crime we have not gotten Vixen in her 80s look. This would be a really cool figure. It's a very generic body type that she has here. Like that belt could be an accessory, different head sculpt.
Yeah.
There you go. Like reuse that Catwoman body, people. And I think it, in my opinion, like it, and if you watch my Villain Obscura video that hit yesterday, I definitely threw some shade that Kenner didn't ever properly give us Supergirl figures for the movie or a doll line or anything.
Yeah.
My low grade conspiracy theory as part of why the movie failed was there were not toys on the toy shelf for kids to pick up. So the time this movie hit, toy lines were where it was at. So
It's true.
he is a great artist, but that's not great art from him. So anyway. So yeah, we need these figures. Who Spin Masters if you take over the scale. And of course, Fire and Ice.
Oh, we got a fire figure in the damn multiverse line.
We did, and but
which I still need.
If we look at Fire in this version, her green flame before she became Fire and went 80s hair metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this Alan Hughes like designed this, obviously, But I
mean,
think
she's a little top heavy.
yeah, I'm trying to
She has
For
not
Brazilian characters, no, for Brazilian, she's quite slender down there. Let's say.
yeah, like Brazilian women tend to be a little bit more voluptuous, especially with her actual backstory, where she was a spy slash showgirl in Brazil before she was blasted with some sort of green ectoplasmic primal flame thing, and then became. I mean, originally her powers were very well. Originally, her powers were she could travel by snorting a green flame out of her nose, and then that would propel her through the air.
What?
Yeah, and the Super Friends, it's a whole thing.
Huh.
Lost episodes.
Yeah, like she at some point at some point we're gonna do some episodes and some specific characters where we're gonna dig into Green Flame slash Fire slash. Well, she started as Green Fury, then she became Green Flame, and then she became Fire. So, and then Ice Maiden, who became Ice, and Tora Olive's daughter. Yeah. So, and there was the Sigrid Nansen, who was actually just the same one, and they forgot she had a name, made up Tora Olive's daughter, and then retconned it so that Sigrid Nansen was the first Ice Maiden. So yeah. This is, in my opinion, like Justice League 87 issue 1 through the start of the Breakdowns crossover series is perfect. Like I liked the Wahaha League. I know not everyone does. I think that was a great era. If you're not going to do the satellite slash superstar, like this is the way, that was the way to do it. But it also just, I have DC Direct versions of Fire and Ice in the first two costumes from the Kevin Maguire collection. And I think, I know DC Classics did these two costumes for Fire and Ice, but it was also sort of when DC Classics was in their
decline.
Yeah, the decline. And I remember Ice just DC Classics. I know that the Four Horsemen do some great work, but their DC Classics women were all super skinny in a not cool way. Like they all looked weird and they all had derpy faces.
I feel like that's the problem with overall is that I think we're kind of I was looking forward to Todd's thing way back when and then was very quickly disappointed. But I think DC fans are looking for a line that we can point to and say this is the definitive DC line that's on par or better than Marvel Legends. And Classics was kind of supposed to be it, but I mean every time I would always pick up Wonder Woman and Batgirl, and I kept on picking them up every 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I would throw them in the trash, and I'm like, I hate this. And I don't say that lightly, but I was like, I hate this thing. So it just
Classics just didn't look all that good.
No.
Yeah. Classics had a great character selection with terrible sculpting.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the Horsemen because we've seen their work. My feeling is whoever was in charge of approving their tooling for that line was a guru of sucky approval stuff. So
a guru, you say?
Shady.
Yeah.
Shady. That's it. I think the Justice League Unlimited, speaking of reusing molds, I mean that line it's probably the definitive one currently and the most expensive.
Yeah, that was a really great line.
Yeah. But I don't.
You got everyone.
Yeah, you got yeah, exactly. And I think, and that's for me, when we keep getting back to how unhappy I am with superpowers, that's what I keep running into is I want the character selection we got for Classics and that superpowers look. Because for me, it's 100% like the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, the George Perez 1980s DC look. To me, that's what superpowers was. That was the definitive look of each of those characters. And, so, and I feel like that's, again, Like this Booster Gold is perfect in my opinion for that scale. Like I'm really happy with Booster here.
Yeah.
I've been happy with all of my superpowers pickups. What annoys me about the superpowers line is that we're not getting character selection. We're not getting any. Again, we're not getting any of the women. Like this is why the line feels so weird.
And that's what killed me too. I mean, when they announced this, I was like bracing for like, I need space, I need more shelves, I need like, you know, to explode stuff. I mean, minimal villains. And I mean, I've bought 4, maybe 5 out of how many waves? Like 10, 11 waves now. And I'm like, I could have bought more if you actually made things I want to buy.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like with superpowers, he doesn't want to take the obvious chances, quote unquote, on characters, but he'll take chances on weird shit. And you'll see it in the multiverse line too, as well. It's insane the choices he makes. Like I think it was today, I was picking Henry up from school. I'm just scrolling through different feeds and stuff, and I think it was Preternia posted pictures there. They announced from the multiverse line, the Dark Flash, if you remember that from like late 90s, early 2000s during the Mark Waid run.
Yeah.
Like Wally wound up in a different universe, so a future Wallace West came back, had the lightning across his chest, and a odd looking version of Tempest in like a blue color palette. Like those were announced. And it's like, okay, but how many people are going to remember that version, that Wallace West from so many years in the future? How many people are going to be clamoring for that Tempest? Like you make these very, very strange choices instead of just grabbing the low-hanging fruit that's easily going to sell. I don't get it. I really, really do not get it.
Cartridge cool. Like that's it. Like it's just, I mean, we didn't get a Wonder Woman figure until he exhausted all of the DC metal Wonder Womans with mohawks or chainsaw arms. And you're like, just give us a goddamn Wonder Woman. That's all we want.
Yeah. Like I'd see those weird, just like what, like Tank Girl Wonder Womans. And I was like, dude, just make a Wonder Woman. Just Wonder Woman.
And I want to really quickly, I want to look at Brick's statement here, because here's what I will say. I'm not somebody who buys Mythic Legions or Cosmic Legions, but what I will say is I've seen the sculpting in that line is amazing, and I've seen sculpts that I don't care for, that I don't think, that don't meet my taste, but all of the sculpts on that I feel like are really good. Like I feel like there's some great sculpting, and that's a line where the only person they're answering to is themselves. Which has helped me really feel like, you know, it helps, again, speak to what Brick's saying here. It's about the client and their approval. So, and we'll leave it at that.
I mean, we'll also, you know, since we're throwing out wild rumors, there's been a certain friendly neighborhood otter who's been kind of popping around some live streams recently, who we would love to take this line. And
that would be a crying shame.
So if he was accountable only to himself, you'd get this.
Yeah.
And quickly we'll move slides to the new Teen Titans, who originally were planned by Kenner, and then we only got Cyborg and Robin. Have left Kid Flash and Jericho out. But again, like Raven, Wonder Girl, Starfire, Tara, we need a villain. Retroactively, we're just all going to pretend Tara was like 20, because otherwise that storyline's a little gross. Little. And, but again, like these, Tara maybe not as, and if you're not a diehard 80s comic fan or a Teen Titans fan, you probably don't know who Tara is. But for the other three,
she was kind of like, not a Dark Phoenix kind of character, but I mean, she was a huge touchstone character. And I mean, they even referenced her in that Teen Titans cartoon from like the and I want to say, so I mean, she's a rite of passage. And anytime you adapt Teen Titans, she is a major stumbling block in that.
I think she showed up in Young Justice too when they did that cartoon. I think
one of the versions.
Yeah.
But to me, it seems really, again, in this particular scale, like Starfire and Wonder Girl for sure. I get Raven, like she's gonna have a lot of soft good needs, but if they gave us that Catwoman in her skirt, there's your your bottom torso for Raven. So like
Yeah.
I just like this line could be real. You could we'll leave it there. But these are all characters I want in 5-inch scale from a superpowers line, and have since back before you knew what was coming out. If it wasn't on the back of the card, you didn't know. And when I saw a Cyborg on the back of a superpowers blister card back in the day, I was like, oh, maybe we'll get Starfire, maybe we'll get Wonder Girl. Maybe we'll get Raven. I mean, like I would have wanted Raven, but I really wanted Starfire and Wonder Girl back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just obviously Donna Troy is like is probably like second only to Wonder Woman herself as my favorite character. So I don't know. Like it seems really. If you look at characters that are customized by people who customize superpowers style figures, like Raven, Wonder Girl, and Starfire, top of the list. Like you see a lot of those.
Oh yeah, like when I do my series on the ladies of superpowers, I mean, I started with these three. It was the lowest of hanging fruit because you're like, hey, if you want to do a 3-pack of characters, this is the one you do.
Well, that brings me sort of to the other side of one of the things I feel like Kenner felt at. I mean, I know like we all sort of, modern toy collectors, we all sort of look at superpowers as the quintessential line. But in my opinion, there were a lot of failures of the vintage superpowers line.
Justice John.
Wave 2 went way too deep into fourth world stuff.
Yeah.
We all know who Darkseid and all those people are now. Back then, we did not, unless you had read the Kirby comics. Wave 3 has a bunch of made-up characters, like Cyclotron and Golden Pharaoh. What the F? Tyr is a great deep dive if you know Legion of Superheroes lore. But even then, he wasn't in a lot of stuff back then, so his inclusion was a head scratcher.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just the Kenner line, but they didn't give us any sort of actual completed rosters or anything. We didn't get all the Teen Titans. We didn't get Supergirl. We didn't get Batgirl.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was the only woman in the line. So even Superpower, like Tawd could literally just be interpreting the original Superpowers line. So.
Yeah.
Oh man! See, this bums me out.
I think at this point, I mean, it was about this time 2 years ago when this was announced, when Dole was on GDL and like, oh my God, and we were all in chats, we were all excited, we were all talking about the women. It is now 2 years later. I know that man knows that people want women. I think he just doesn't give two shakes of a rat's behind is what it comes down to. I just don't think he cares.
It doesn't take 2 years to course correct.
No.
Maybe one. But at this stage, we're like, you're biding your time until your license runs out.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that's what he's doing, like, just like, I'm running out the clock until my license is up and somebody else can do this. Okay, I kind of understand that. But I don't know. Outside of that, I can't see any good reason why he's not doing it, aside from I just don't want to do it. So
it comes across to me that like he has this sort of MacFarland fanboys, the people who just whatever he does can't go wrong.
Yeah,
it seems like that's all he cares about. I don't think he doesn't seem interested in winning any of the rest of us over. And I mean, good for him, but like it's also kind of a bummer. Like I would like to buy stuff from Tawd.
Yeah, I have money. I would like to give it to you.
It should be much easier to like pick up DC Comics stuff. I picked up a bunch of Marvel Legend. I'm not as much into Marvel as most people like Marvel stuff, but like I don't have, like DC Comics was my thing. That was my comics.
Yeah.
And I feel like it bumps me out because I want to. This is the line we've all dreamed about, and it's not delivering. And it would be really easy if you literally had just, if you look. I was looking back at all the figures on the Booster Gold card back. It's like literally if he had just thrown Supergirl, Batgirl, and Black Canary, just those 3 characters in the line.
That's it.
About 80%.
Literally it.
The complaints most of us have would have disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have had a lot of people just the amount of complaints you have now probably reduce that by at least 70%.
This is a great point.
Minimum.
I think it was like, if you love money, like if this is all about the money, like Harley Quinn is the 4th pillar of the Trinity. I mean, when it comes to marketing dollars, when it comes to like cash coming into DC and Warner Brothers. So like, I know she wasn't around during the Superpowers era, but I mean, like, why? Even in Multiverse, like, why are you not pumping out like 7 Harleys a year? Like, I don't.
It was Batman who laughs, but he got his superpowers.
It's like, who talks to him anymore? No one.
Right.
No one cares about that character. I don't think anybody cared about that character at the time.
No.
But he's part of the line.
But he looks cool. Like, that's it. It just looks cool.
I guess. Leather Daddy and shit.
Yeah. Edgelord.
Edgelord, yes. Edgelord. Cenobite Batman.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I want, again, I want to give Tawd MacFarland some money. And I want superpowers figures. And if you just were giving, even if it was just like, again, looking at all the figures he's released, if there was any version of any version, like even like the terrible 1990s, like when she had the black leather and the black hair.
Oh yeah.
At the end of her solo series by Sarah Bynum. Even that one I would gladly accept because it would be something. Even if it was, Donna Troy and like one of the her Dark Star costume, it would still be something.
Yeah, it's still a Donna Troy.
Like the Dark Stars.
Yeah, the Dark Stars. So I'm disappointed, and it makes me sad in a way because I don't, obviously we're not trying to be the sad people with the forehead vein.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's plenty to be grateful for in this line. Like we got a Riddler.
Yeah.
We have a Bizarro. We got Black Manta. Those were things I all wanted to see.
For Adam coming, like there's good stuff. Kilowog, big fan of that. Like,
yeah, that was cool too. Deathstroke. Yeah, how long did we want a Deathstroke? John Stewart. So there's some stuff that we got. Blue Beetle. The classic team, Blue and Gold, Blue Beetle and Booster, and the Bug. So, there's some good stuff that we got. There's plenty to celebrate with it. It's just.
Well, and I think both of the Brainiac, like I love
those two
hot pants Brainiac, perfect. You've got 2 different versions of Sinestro to pick from. You've got classic blue. So there's some good stuff. Like I'm not even one of those people who are like, oh my god, Reverse Flash, predictable. I'm like, it's Reverse Flash, we need him.
Yeah, be nice to be able to find him.
I think the 2 Nightwing repaints, like those are cool. Like
you got an invisible plane. I mean, whatever is an invisible plane, that's incredible.
And the Brainiac ship. I've got the Invisible Jet and Brainiac ship right behind me. So
the Whirly Bat. I kind of dug the Whirly Bat.
Yeah.
So
And this is, I think, the other side that we didn't get to, because, like, obviously we're focusing on the ladies. But this is also an excellent point. Giganta, right? But I think that's the other part. Like, the Brainiac and the Sinestro and the Black Manta sort of fulfill that challenge of the super friends of it all. And, like, I think, for me, that's part of what I was hoping for, was that we would get the Legion of Doom, like Scarecrow,
Or like, well, all of Batman's rogues. I mean, or Flash's rogues, or like there's a lot of great villains. Or like
Captain
Stars
Cold.
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot out there, and it's just, even if he wants to go that modern route, I mean, you can sort of throw in some more modern villains. It's fine.
Yeah,
but I mean, they were even more sparingly, sprinkled out. There's none in this future wave. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't bought any of his villains.
Well, even Green Lantern, we've gotten John Stewart, Hal Jordan, Kilowog, and Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's a nice selection of sort of Green Lantern, like Green Lanterns themselves. Like, and then you've got 2 Sinestros, but like, I don't know. And Flash-wise, we've gotten like I think it's a Barry, we've gotten a Wally, we've gotten a Reverse Flash. We're getting Jay Garrick.
Like, and that's the thing. We got a 2 different 3-packs. The Peacemaker, Judo Master, and Vigilante.
Yeah.
And then the JSA 3-pack. Alan Scott, Hourman, and Starman. Yeah, Starman. So I mean, we got some cool. There's some weird choices in there. Again, Justice Lord Superman, but we got a lot of really great stuff too, and that's awesome. It's like you said. I mean, if you just peppered in 2 or 3 gals, 2 or 3, that would have been terrific.
Yeah,
and I think it's like we're going down the line. And I'm like, wow, there's so many more characters than I thought.
Yeah,
but it's because like it's a sausage fest, except for 2 Wonder Women, one of which is a repaint.
Yeah.
Well, this is sort of like the wall I'm running into, where it's like I put off doing superpowers because there's so many, and so I'm trying to use the style guide as my North Star. But even then, it's still a monstrous list. So like I'm trying to wrap it up. But even with the ones I've done, I mean, I do them in batches of 3. I've got like 16, 20. It's a lot. Right. It's a lot.
Well, yeah, like I mean, so the style guide, obviously. I mean, I just opened it. There's Hawkwoman, because this was right after she switched from Hawk Girl to Hawkwoman. But like this page right here,
my favorite page.
Yeah,
that's what you need. Like right there.
And it's Supergirl, Zatanna, Wonder Woman, Black Canary, Batgirl, Wonder Girl, and Hawkwoman. And then further up, you've got Lois Lane and Lana Lang in here. And Mara is in here.
Yeah.
From Aquaman. No Aqua Girl, but I mean, just if he would have taken the style guide here and said, let me get the Huntress is on the cover, but she's not inside. But at the same time, like Huntress is Bat family, like it just, I don't know. Like, and he's done Huntress and like Multiverse. He's done Power Girl over there. He's done Fire. He's done Donna Troy. Like, I don't understand why he won't in Superpowers when, and everyone's like, oh, the tooling, but I'm looking at the tooling, and other than like the Batmans and the Flashes, a lot of these have some unique tooling on them, so it's not even necessarily like
can't be that worried about it.
He can't be, because
like it is what it is. Like if they just have $1, sort of like Justice League International or Justice League Unlimited, paint it on. I mean, by the time Superpowers originally ran its course, they were sort of doing a lot more repaints than individual sculpts, and so you've had your Wonder Woman, who would of course, like Justice League, would get redone over and over again. But I mean, just make $1.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even done a Martian Manhunter yet. So,
Oh yeah.
no
Yeah.
Green Arrow, no Hawkman. Has he not done a Joker in Superpowers? I don't see a Joker. I mean, technically, the Batman Who Laughs is kind of a Joker.
That's the closest stand-in for one.
He actually hasn't done a Joker in the Superpowers line, which is
that's weird.
That's super weird because we've gotten 2 Brainiacs. No Lex.
Now I'm
Luthor
worried
either.
about him.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
maybe he's had a stroke and we just don't know.
I feel kind of bad now.
Yeah,
It'll kind of explain a few things.
yeah, kind of would. All right. Well, we are hitting an hour and a half, which is about how long Andrew has before he turns into a pumpkin. So we should probably start wrapping it up because it's like a million times later in Canada.
Yes.
It's just up here by the North Pole.
Yeah, the part of Canada.
Also, Derek's gonna get yelled at, so he should probably go soon too, because that was more than 3 minutes.
Oh, I got a message during. She goes, "You're not doing this again while he's awake." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am."
Oh. All right. So anyway, thank you everyone. And really quick, let me wait. Sorry. Okay, there we go. All right, Andrew, you're up first. Where can the people find you?
You can find me behind the Howard Johnson, giving out Howard Johnsons. Ask your dad. Say hello.
If you gotta ask what it is, you can't afford it, babe.
You can't afford it. Okay. You can find me at Katie's Toys on Instagram and YouTube for now, until it got canceled. And I've got a video coming up this Saturday about superpowers. Timing is fantastic. This time about Lois, Supergirl, and Power Girl. There you go.
The trifecta of a super family of women.
Right. I have a theme.
Yeah.
Women's.
It's a good thing. And Derek Hoover.
It's me. Let's see. If you want to engage with stuff for the show socially, it's on we're on Blue Sky and X. But as far as where you can find me, usually every Monday, new episodes on your podcast app of choice. You can find yesterday's podcast on Facebook. We did away with the website. That's gone now. We're just sticking to social platforms. So I post the episodes there as well. We just wrapped up Make Mine Marvel Month, covering all the Marvel cartoons from the 70s and 80s. I should say Make Mine Marvel Month 2, Electric Boogaloo, because we did this last January with the 90s cartoons. But next Monday kicks off February, and the payoff for about a 2.5 year long bit. We're doing a Bill Bellamy episode finally because a patron picked it. Well, so tune in for that shit show. Mint with card, you're gonna be very happy. Your buddy Kevin is on that episode. So get ready to hear new stuff you can annoy your husband with.
All right. And that, of course, is me. This is obviously on my channel, so if you're here, you know where to find me. Let's see. So tomorrow is Friday. I've got tomorrow morning, Evelyn Color and Chill Spectacular Collection will drop. So that's about 30 minutes with multiple different Evelyn time-lapse coloring. Some of it has been released before. It's sort of a supercut, but it's we have a 5th Friday this month, and I needed to not film a 5th video this month because I had the Selena video that dropped last night. So go watch that if you haven't, who is Selena from the Supergirl movie, Villain Obscura, which ties into tonight's theme, luckily. And then Saturday morning, we'll have the toy catalogs. I don't technically have a catalog, but I took the 1982 G.I. Joe Real American Hero toy fold-out catalog that came with the toys and turned it into a booklet. And then tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be live stream solo coloring Lord of the Rings. Completing the page I started last time, and if I finish it before the end, I've got a second Lord of the Rings page. So, and then of course there are always shorts. Always shorts. Yep. So yeah. Right now there's some Princess of Power shorts happening. And then Care Bears and all the rest. So, with that said, thank you for joining us. We plan is to keep doing this, and we are planning on doing a She-Ra Princess of Power Filmation rewatch this year in celebration of 40 years of She-Ra. As we get closer to launching that, we will have details. So if you want to watch along, you guys can do that, and then join us here to talk about the agony, the irony, and the ecstasy that is Filmation. So,
Yeah.
oh, it's a good one. That's one of my favorites. It's cheesy, delicious goodness. And with that said, thank you everyone for tuning in. I am Allison Troy, Retro Toy Princess, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you in the next one. Yeah, I think that's what I'm supposed to say, right?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
good.
Anyway,
Sounds
this has been the
special.
Roar Jar.